What are heroes? Heroes usually are people that are witnessed by others who appreciate what they're doing. In fact, these observers can basically see themselves doing the same kinds of things. They appreciate this, they like this. All of us growing up, I believe, at least I did, experienced a lot of exciting things, a lot of roles that were being displayed. Yes, from West, back in my day, there were Westerners, and there was still the comics, Dick Tracy and Superman, Batman, and so on and so forth. And there was Thor, and there was a whole bunch. But for me, there was one character that fit me. Now, I don't know if it's because of the powers. Maybe it was just the whole deal. And that was Jesus. Jesus the Christ. Somebody said, oh, well, Jesus wasn't real. I don't know if Thor was real. I don't even know if Lone Ranger was real. I do know it was an acting role. But it was the story. It was the message. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, I think newness comes when we can see a new message. Not an old message, but a new message. Not just an old message changed, rearranged, and readjusted, but a new message. And so, whether Jesus Christ ever lived or not, truly is not important to me at this time. But the message of the story of Jesus Christ is absolutely fantastic. One that represented a power that allowed a certain amount of power to exist in this body, in this Jesus Christ, able to lay hands on the sick, and all kinds of things happen. Well, look at the guys who came up with the computer, was able to be touched, and look what we got. How many of you could actually deal with a computer? Your imagination can't even wrap around it. And now the things that they're teaching in schools, the things that most of us who went to school sometime yesterday or even in school today, tomorrow won't even be able to understand what's going on. It's magnificent. You think about the electric light. You think about the car. You think about the trains that can travel off the track. That's like walking on water. A big old train sliding around with electrical energy and magnetism playing the game. Oh, wow. But to me, the most magnificent thing that I can think of is every human being on earth needs certain things to survive. Food, maybe some clothing. You might be able to get away with it depending upon where you live. And shelter. You definitely need these three. And if you want to advance and be progressive, you're going to need some kind of education, even if you're learning from your past experiences. And sometimes, Lord knows, we hate to get sick. We don't ever want to get sick, but it happens every now and then. We get sick. And the number one thing we want when we're sick is a doctor, someone to treat us. Now, we have settled for medications that camouflages the problem, but it can truly, the cause, continue to exist. And you know the story without me going into it. But it would be absolutely nice to have the best health care available to us when we wanted it, when we needed it, or when we desired. It would be absolutely fantastic. To me, you can't beat that. It would offer us peace. It would offer us prosperity. It would offer us freedom. It would offer us joy, and it would allow for our dreams to be realized. And yes, that sounds absolutely magnificent, but I'm sensing that most of you might be asking, but how can you achieve something like that? And I tell you, my friends, the simplest way to achieve any of the things I've just said, and even so much more, is to take it at its realest, most simplistic form. check this out. All of the resources that would be used to cause all of the things that I have described and the many things that you can imagine to happen, all of the resources necessary for any of these things and all of these things are freely given. They are freely given. Resources here on the earth, above the earth, in the earth, some of it seen, some of it unseen, but it's a free gift available to however many humans are on earth. Somebody say between 7 and 8 billion. A lot of people. But it's, I mean, I'm looking over here, I don't see people. I hear something back in the background. I'm looking over here, I don't see people. So out of the 8 billion people, there's still spaces where 8 billion people are not residing. Oh, my friends, and the resources, they are just unlimited. Now, I understand that sometimes our minds will allow us to understand that a resource might deplete. But why would it? Because there's room now being made for something brand new. Nature continues to grow just as we do. And so, ladies and gentlemen, how can that happen that I just got through explaining? I just told you that everybody on the face of the earth would love to be in a situation like this. I don't know how they feel about other people, but I know for themselves, they would love to be in the situation. Hey, and they should. You all do, and you should. But why don't you? Because you don't know the way. Here's the way. It's simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's so simple, it might go over your head real fast. Everybody that benefits from what I've just got through stating, all of them, in some form or fashion, based upon the gifts that they have been given, the gift that gives them the greatest joy in exercising, whatever it is, now engage themselves in the process of manifesting all that have been said here. Well, it's not too much that's new because most of these things are already happening. The setup is already in place. It, my friends, just doesn't represent the purity of life. And that is what this whole mission is about. Every last one of human beings on the face of the earth having their dreams come true by exercising the gifts that they have in the process with everyone else, researching, engaging, and causing out of what they have a vision and imagination, a manifestation. And by so doing, every individual is part owner in all that is created by the hands of man. Every individual on this planet, black and white, women and men, Asians and Africans and whatever, all. And they know it, and they're not jealous because they have their dreams. Now, to me, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing better that a human being can do on this earth than to get with that. I remember, at least when I first ran for president of the United States, championing this, I was so thrilled. Here I was, a black man out of the cotton fields of Mississippi, going through some Ellis Rogers, Amanda Elsie High, Alcorn State University, the Veterans Administration, the VA, the Navy. And I'm coming back with this message that I just articulated. And I'm thinking, all my life, America has been about a church. And these kinds of things are the things that have been represented supposedly in the ministries. This, the message of Jesus Christ. I know that people weren't practicing it, and this is why this truth that I just got through mentioning to you hasn't materialized. But I came back, it's so simple. So simple. Till I'm thinking that the people would just thank God. Now we don't have to worry about war. We don't have to worry about lying. We don't have to worry about cheating. We don't have to worry about stealing. We don't have to worry about prejudice. We don't have to worry about racism. We don't have to worry about hatred. We don't have to worry about any of that. Why? Because we learn the secret of life, to be who we are, to recognize the power outside of us as being the ultimate power. And our purpose here is interconnected with every other purpose. And all we got to do is just be one, be ourselves. My God, what a freedom. But nobody got on that bandwagon. I didn't go out to organize this. That the message is supposed to organize itself. Everybody wants to hear this. Everybody wants to see it. Everybody jump in it. I'm not begging for your money to tell you this fantastic message. I'm not supporting the system that exists, using it to say to you, no, I'm telling you the message. And that's supposed to clog all that other stuff out of your head, out of your mind, out of your spirit, if it's you. Hey, but I ran for president about 3 times. I think if you ask my wife, she'll say about 4. I even ran against George Bush in that 2000 debacle. Yeah, after I got ignored, I wanted to speak to the people and get a platform. I didn't want to go cover myself with gasoline and burn myself up. I wasn't going to go and cause someone else some pain. So I decided to take some money from an employer. I think the amount was about $20,000. Maybe this should get your attention. I took it, gave it away. What did I give it away to? I gave it away to those who need it, for those who go through the worst things trying to survive. I gave it to dope dealers. I gave it to prostitutes. I gave it to people who couldn't pay their rent. I just got rid of it. And when I got rid of it, I went and told the boss what I did and why I did it. And I wanted to be arrested. We went down to get arrested. They wouldn't even arrest me that day. It was a Friday. They told me to come back on a Monday. I went back on a Monday. I got arrested. And the whole thing started. No, I couldn't afford a lawyer. I was looking for a public defender or somebody in the organizations of the community who would understand what I'm saying. Let's get this message out there. Let's use the courts to get this message out there. Let's have it documented. Lift it up. Yeah, I couldn't even get newspapers. I couldn't even get anybody to write that I was in jail, that I was being tried. I mean, I did everything I possibly could. They ignored it, totally ignored it. Then when I remember 2001, the day I was released from Stillwater State Prison, as I was being released, someone came and ran and said, Eddie, watch the television. Planes were flying into the World Trade Center. Oh, my heart was broken because I knew if they had made me president, that would have never happened. Because the problems that I said, that I articulated, that would have dissipated from this country, would have dissipated from Asia, would have dissipated from South America, all down in Guatemala, the day where you're talking about so many people are trying to get out of there. People running from other parts of the country, other parts of the world. No, we're going to fix all of that. This is my understanding of the message of the story of Jesus Christ. And I chose that to be my representative form of life. And I'm still struggling, ladies and gentlemen, still struggling. I'm out here today saying these things, hoping that it might mean something to you that it hasn't in the past. But hey, that's all on you. I love you. And I know that the joy that I dream of for myself will never be complete until yours. So ladies and gentlemen, we ought to join hands, all of us, and take care of our business. Don't let anybody speak for us. We speak for ourselves. And our whole story is told by what the world sees. And it's all right with us. All right? Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.